We're ready? All eyes. Like for Pastor David Keeney of First Baptist Church in Dunbar to say a word of prayer.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this evening. We thank you for the men and women who serve. May you bless them and strengthen them and give them wisdom. Thank you for this meeting tonight. We pray that it will be beneficial, profitable for this city. Lord, we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Mike, you want to lead us in the pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk Faulkner, will you have the roll call, please?
Steve Arnett.
Here.
Mike Scipio.
Here.
Doug Fleshman.
Here.
Craig Edson.
Here.
Greg Wolf.
Here.
Connie Thompson. Present. Jim Hughes.
Here.
Linda Bowles. I'm here.
The quorum being present, I declare the January 6, 2020 meeting of Dunbar City Council in order. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes for the December 16, 2019 council meeting.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the minutes as written of December 16, 2019 council meeting. Second.
There's been a motion by Councilman Fleshman to approve the minutes of the December 16, 2019 council meeting as presented, seconded by Councilman Scipio. Any comments, questions, or clarifications? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Abstentions? None. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is approval of invoices.
Mr. Chairman, I so move that we pay our invoices for this period totaling $162,817.36. And just for clarification, this amount also includes some items we'll approve later. Our accident construction and insurance deductible is included in that.
I'll second. There's been a motion by Councilman Hudson to approve invoices totaling $162,817.36, seconded by Councilman Scipio. Any questions, clarifications, comments? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions, none. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is first reading of ordinance 786.
This ordinance is number 786. This ordinance is for the city of Dunbar to amend Article 7, Section 709, charitable solicitation to additional subparagraph of 709.07, City of Dunbar panhandling ordinance.
So moved.
I'll second it.
There's been a motion by Councilman Scipio to approve the first reading of ordinance 786 to amend ordinance 709 charitable solicitations to add subparagraph 709.07 City of Dunbar panhandling ordinance, seconded by Councilman Arnett. Any comments, clarifications, questions?
Mr. Chairman, should we ask for an explanation so the citizens know everything going on with it? Is it fair?
Absolutely. I can do that. At the public forum meeting, citizens expressed concern about ways that the city can deal with some of the issues within the city relative to individuals being approached on the streets, sidewalks, and various other places for soliciting for money. And a lot of citizens, they're uncomfortable, they feel intimidated, and this is a way to strengthen an ordinance that we currently have, which has been on the books since 1978, charitable solicitation. And believe it or not, that has been on the books since 78, which says that the Girl Scouts and different people, churches have to come and get a permit to solicit funds in public. That doesn't mean that you can't go to Kroger's and set up a bake sale or something like that on private property, but if you're going to do public solicitations, that book has been on the books since 1978. So what the panhandling does is basically prevents anyone from standing on a street corner, an intersection, or on a sidewalk, any public thoroughfare, from approaching people for the purpose of soliciting money. We have received a letter of protest today from the ACLU. They say that it is in summary, that it's a bad policy. They think it may be an infringement of people's First Amendment rights to go up and solicit money. And the counselor has, our city attorney has indicated there has been some issues in law in the past that we may have to stand the test of the validity of what we're going to do. I think as a community, this is the step that we need to take and let the courts determine, whether or not it's fair or unfair, or if we have to modify it, we will modify it according to what the courts rule. I think it's my intention, and I'm pretty sure the council's position, that we want to do whatever we can do to try to better the environment within the city to restrict some of this activity. The other thing that we talked about in the forum was having our delegates and state senators propose legislation that makes it a criminal offense to trespass on a abandoned, condemned, or boarded up building. Right now, according to the codes, that's a simple trespass. And most of you all were at that meeting, and they have committed that they will try to work that through the legislative session. And Kathy will be sending notices out to them in the next day or two to reinforce to them. I've been in touch with them for the last couple of months, every month, reinforcing that yes, we still want to proceed with this. So that is another mechanism that we can get put in place if the legislature will amend the laws in order to let us do that. So that's, does anybody else have anything they want to add to that?
Thank you, Mayor. And then on the practical side too, so it is equitable, as the Mayor mentioned, anyone still can come and apply for this permit, present a valid ID, and then they have a 24-hour period to panhandle up to 2 times in 6 months, which is 4 times for a year. So it is equitable. Anybody, not just Girl Scouts, not just the church, anybody can apply for it. But it does put restrictions, so it can't be in your face all the time, going on like that in an effort to try to meet, as you mentioned, the court's mandate on. And also, you as citizens could encourage private businesses. We have no jurisdiction over private business, but they can verbally. It doesn't even have to be written. They can verbally ask for no trespassing and no panhandling on their property. And that would help the businesses get involved as well in one areas that we can't cover.
Anything you want to add?
No, you all said it as well as I could.
You schooled us pretty good. Okay, any further comments or clarifications? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. Abstentions? Oh, okay.
I'm talking to Reverend Hudson, so I'm sorry.
I'm sorry?
I was talking to Reverend Hudson.
Oh, okay. Motion carries for the approval of the first reading. Next item on the agenda is approval to hire probationary firemen.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for approval of city council to hire probationary firemen not to exceed 40 hours per week until certified for shift work.
I'll second.
There's been a motion by Councilman Fleshman to approve the hiring of a probationary fireman for a not to exceed 40-hour per week position until certified for shift work. Seconded by Councilwoman Baldus. Any further comments or clarification?
This just brings the fire department back to full staffing. We've been shorthanded for quite a while, so it's not an extra person. It's just back to its regular 14-man staffing.
Any further comment? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. All those opposed? No. Abstention? No. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is invoice from Kanawha County Commission.
I make a motion that we approve payment of Kanawha County Commission invoices for 4 months of utility summary department for the amount of $5,386.76.
Second. There's been a motion by Councilman Scipio to approve payment to Kanawha County Commission in the amount of $5,386.76 for 4 months of utilities at Shawnee Park and Pool. Seconded by Councilman Wolf. Any further questions, comments, or clarifications? These are all budgeted expenses that we're just now getting around to reconcile. Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? No. Abstentions? None. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is payment to Action Construction.
Mayor, I'll make the motion to approve payment to Action Construction Company in the amount of $108,000 for work on our new salt bin.
I'll second.
There's been a motion by Councilman Arnott to approve payment to Action Construction Company in an amount of $108,000 for work on the salt bin, seconded by Councilman Scipio. Any further comments, clarifications? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions, no. Motion carries.
Mayor, if I may comment on that, I believe it's probably maybe 4 or 5 years ago that you were actually one working on a proposal for that, and the DNR was threatening the city for finding us. I believe, I don't remember what the amount was, but it was big money.
$60,000.
And you need to, if you haven't seen it, you need to go down by the Public Works Department and see it. It's a nice salt bin that they put in for us.
Well, fortunately, it should hold up. I think I've put in a post on the internet, you know, sometimes you have to dig up the sins of your past to build the future. Well, when we started to work on it, we had to dig up there's garbage down 8 or 9 feet that we had to, because that used to be a garbage dump for the city, so we had to dig that garbage up, lay it over to the side, and then put, fortunately, West Virginia pavings there. We put regrind down in there for the base, and we're working on getting approvals to dispose of the garbage. So everything you do has a cost. Sometimes it comes back to get us. That being said, we've already gone through that. Okay, next on the agenda is payment to One Beacon.
I'll make a motion, we approve payment to One Beacon Insurance Group for the deductible on 4 active lawsuits in the amount of $12,417.19.
Second.
There's been a motion by Councilman Scipio to approve payment to One Beacon Insurance Group for the deductible on 4 active lawsuits in the amount of $12,417.19. Seconded by Councilman Hudson. Any comments, questions, or clarifications? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions? None, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is removal of 4 trees on 18th Street.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve to have 4 trees on the first 400 block of 18th Street between Charles and Payne to be taken down by American tree experts and hauled off by the city at a cost of $2,200.
Second.
There's been a motion by Councilman Fleshman to approve the removal of 4 trees on 18th Street to be cut down by American tree experts to be hauled off by the city at a cost of $2,200. Seconded by Councilman Scipio. Any comments, clarifications, or questions?
Where the people live down in that neighborhood, they're well aware of those trees on that street. 2 of them are dead, 2 of them are diseased, and they need to be taken down because their big limbs starting to fall out of a couple of them. So it's for a safety factor, as well as the nuisance of the dead wood off the street in storms.
We will be posting it as no parking on the day we're going to do it. We'll give everybody advance notice. That's all.
Okay. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions? None. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is repairs to the city park caretaker's house.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve not to exceed $2,000 to the city park caretaker's house for repairs.
Second.
There's been a motion by Councilman Hughes to approve making repairs to the city park caretaker's house in the amount not to exceed $2,000 for flooring, replace door, paint, and miscellaneous repairs. Seconded by Councilman Fleshman. Any further clarification, comments? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions? None. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is payment to the Dunbar Beautification League.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we make a payment of $1,000 to the Dunbar Beautification League. It's a budgeted amount.
Second.
There's been a motion by Councilwoman Baltus to approve payment to the Dunbar Beautification League in the budgeted amount of $1,000. Seconded by Councilwoman Thompson. Any further questions, comments? Being none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. Abstentions, none. Motion carries. Okay. Looks like Chief Moss, you're first up.
Good evening, Mayor, citizens, guests. On December 28th, the CERT students did their practical exercise down at the rec center. We'll be having graduation on January 20th. The council shouldn't take much time to do that. Other than that, it's business as usual. Everyone knows we ended the year with the homicide that's being worked every day. Lieutenant Schaefer and Detective Payne, all kinds of sheriff's department. Anyone has any questions, take them now. Thank you, sir.
Chief Thornhill.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. Couple of quick things. I have some really exciting news for the city. Got our ISO rating back. We are now a Class 2 fire department. Less than 1,700 departments out of 50,000 in the whole U.S. reach Class 2. So that's a huge, huge achievement for our department. I'm going to give the mayor the copy of the letter.
I've already got it.
It
Council got it.
It doesn't take effect until April. So between now and April, if anyone, most insurance companies will pick this information up and run with it if you notify them. If you need a letter from me, just contact me, let me know, I'll get you a letter for that. And before you ask me about insurance rate drops, it depends on the insurance company, the agent, how well they like you, all these little things. And some companies don't specifically go on ISO. They go on a regional view of what the department's capabilities are versus another department. So I can't say it's going to be this percent or that percent. You will see a decrease. The city will see a decrease in the business side of the insurance on that. So that was a huge, huge thing for us, and we're very excited about it. I know I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in that, and the guys worked very hard. Our gains in that were internal training requirements and things like that. So a lot of work went into that. It's amazing. We need 6 points, and it takes a lot of work to get to 6 points. And we got it. We ended the year with a 1,060 incidents in the city, which is down a little bit, which is actually good. Less things are happening, so that's a good year for everybody. With 2,156 hours of training done internal, and some of that's reflected back in that ISO rating. So doubling up the training that we were doing in years past. The ISO actually is 4 years of work we had to put together to get into that. And all of our fire trucks have now been pump tested for the year and certified and passed with pumps, so we're good to go for another year. That just happened. And outside of that, that's all I have. I have an annual report to be turned into the mayor talking about what we did for the year. Something the fire department has to do every year, but I'll take anyone's questions. If anybody has.
Was that 1,700 out of 50,000?
Yeah, the number is, I don't have it with me, it's 1,600 something. Less than 2,000 departments out of 50,000. Only make it to a Class 2. It's very, very difficult.
Very.
Well, I had, sir. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Come see me in the morning, we can make that phone call.
Okay, thank you. Took me, thank you.
He's talking about his new fireman we just approved.
And I do appreciate that from you guys. Thank you.
Next, we'll go with Sanitary Department Assistant Director Matt Dawson.
Good evening, Mayor, council, citizens. Other than general maintenance and on the system and plant, we really don't have a whole lot. It's kind of our slow time of year with the weather. So I'll take any questions at this time if there is any.
What's our, what we look like in getting Taylor Road done up there on the drain?
Taylor Road, okay. We had some emergency calls out this week, so hopefully I can get everything lined up and ready to go on it the next week.
Matt, did Bernie get permission from the state to do the manholes on 16th Street? I know he put in for, he talked.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know who he has talked to or.
He talked to somebody from Park Highway.
He has not told me anything about that.
Okay.
He was
I'll find out.
He was off the last 2 weeks finishing out his vacation.
Oh, okay.
I'll ask him for things.
Okay. I just want to know what the status was on that, because people were hitting.
They're either going to do it or we're going to do it.
Well, that's what he was asking for permission if he could do it, if they were. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Building inspector, Mr. Leishman.
Mayor, citizens, first off, I'd like to congratulate Chief Thornhill on being the second-rate fire department. Oh, I'm sorry.
I understand. We appreciate your support. They're no better than we are now. We're the same.
I'm just basically working on following up, cleaning up stuff that's been lingering all year long in my office, on the little stuff. We're getting a lot of complaints on the house on Midway. If anybody's from that area, we are working on it. Slow and forward. We've got a plan devised, but we have to be careful with this one. It's an exceptional case. Still having a problem with homeless people breaking into stuff. I would love to see that ball passed as quickly as possible. That would benefit us, and I want to talk to Steve about something I thought of today. See if he thinks it might fly, that we might be able to use a little reverse engineering on these people and stick them in the who's count on something else other than trespass. Other than that, I'll take any questions. Yes, sir.
Two things, 436 17th Street is full of the homeless. We've broken there twice, the police have been there twice today.
436-17. Okay, there's a bank that took that over. And I talked to them the other day, so they're getting ready, I'm assuming they're getting ready to put it on auction.
Now, I don't have the address of this other house, this is relayed to me through work, but apparently this past Friday, we had a property owner that tried to get into one of the rentals, and the house was boarded up from the inside.
Right.
Our service man went down there because the house was so hot, he said he could feel the heat coming through the window. They turned the furnace all the way up and left it. So that's in our business, that's no good. And I know the fire chief knows what I'm talking about.
Right.
How no good it is.
Where was this?
I'll have to get you an address. Mark Birch, our service man, ran the routes for earning this past Friday.
Y'all cut off the gas.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we board them up from the inside because what they've been doing is they'll steal a screw gun when they're raiding people's garages and unscrew the boards we put on the outside. So what we've been doing lately is we go into the house, board everything from the inside except one exit door. And we board it and try and board it from the best vantage point from a roadway. So, you know, if you have boarded up houses in your neighborhood, watch the front door, see if it's been pried loose or whatever, because they'll steal those little breaker bars and pop them right off the wall or unscrew them.
Apparently, the way I was told, the house was boarded from the inside. Now, how they got, I'm sure they got their windows, but they had no way to get in the house.
Well, you can't board it completely from the inside.
Well, that's what I'm telling you, the front door and the back door was boarded, so you could not enter any one of them. So somebody's getting a little bit crafty or something going on.
No, one of the doors would have been boarded from the inside, but they have to move out of the.
That's what I'm saying, if you got out of the window.
No, because the windows are boarded.
No, you're not following, it's not one of your houses you boarded. This is a vacant rental property.
We board those too, if they're breaking in.
Right.
Did the homeless people board those? Give me an address.
Okay.
I'm interested now. Might have to hire them.
A little bit higher, you wouldn't have to worry about it.
Any other questions?
I just have one. Will we be able to have time to put on your agenda, working on selling that surplus property? Please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Glad you got passed on some questions.
Y'all are both almost healed up. You can have it pretty soon.
I got 3 more weeks, but I'm not doing it.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, Public Works, Mr. Elliott.
Mayor, council, citizens. Business as usual, thank goodness the holidays and the extra trash is over. Last year, we picked up 3,365,000 tons of garbage. So it's been a long, hard year, on top of blacktop and on top of getting the limbs and the leaves and everything else. So we've been really busy and staying busy as normal. Getting leaves Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, and limbs on Tuesdays and Thursday afternoon. Well, I guess we'll be cleaning up some limbs on 18th Street and few other places here soon. I'll take anybody's questions if anybody has any.
Scott, the other evening, when I come home from work, that little yellow house that's behind us,
Mhm.
when we've always had, they take their trash, put it out a week or so ahead of time. The other evening when I come home, there was 2 homeless going through the trash.
Oh, they hit Charles Avenue last night or the night
So I ran
before.
out there, so.
It's bad down through Charles
Do
Avenue.
we not have a
Cleaning up the
notice from, that we can post on the doors?
I'll run by that, I can ticket them. They can't set their trash out till the night before.
When we ticket them, we also give them a copy of the ordinance that says what you have to do and what you're not allowed to do, and when you can set your trash out. And then we took one page and pulled all the pertinent ordinances out, put it all on one page, so.
You talking about where the little blonde girl is?
How many times did you say it was for you?
It was 3,365. Yeah, I said it 2 minutes. 3,365 tons.
Okay.
Not hundreds of thousands.
That was a lot. I have a question, Scott. I know this probably falls between you, but our marquee sign, I know Hugh's back almost normal now. And you
We were talking about that today.
up on it, so.
I was wanting to do it today, but we're getting too high wind gusts, and I don't want that thing dangling, when we're trying to, it's swinging around, so. We want to get it done, but.
And the first house going up Westmore on the left, when you make the turn and go up, the tree fell across the guardrail right there, across the house is vacant, by the way. It looks like somebody's been getting in the house all
Is that
day.
the one with the high fence?
No, it's the first one on the left when you first turn on Westmore and going up the hill.
The garage, there's a garage that sits right at the end of the driveway.
The tree laying in the driveway, there's a tree laying across the, guardrail, plus all over the house, and the house is sitting vacant all
The old
the
Cavalier house.
I don't know if that was the owner's house or who it
Yeah.
was.
She's in a nursing home or something. The one who lives there.
We'll take a look at it. Not long ago, discovered.
Mr. Jones.
Thank you, Mayor. Just getting ready for critter dinner for next month, which will be on the 15th. My next council meeting, I'll come in with the menu of what we're serving, the special item we have, and I have been looking at that special item. About $50.
Lord, it must be special.
Comes at you.
Well, we've been toying with the idea of a pepperoni roll with snake meat in it. We'll call it snake rattling roll.
So I'm talking to my guys about it, to see how easy it is to do. And trying to get them on board with it.
We're also looking for coyote meat too, right?
I have been looking for that. Somebody told me I really don't want it. Yeah.
That could be worse than possum.
And then, we're also gonna be working on the next, our first, flea market, which will be in March. Joanne and I will be talking about that more tomorrow, set a date, everything for that, and, basically, yes, going on, just rentals are starting to come in, calling. Gotta pick up stuff for the new caretaker's house.
Do we need help with the critter dinner, servers, things like
Of
that?
course, where's my favorite?
This is politician here, man.
Oh, there he is.
The politician down there that serve everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, we shouldn't have any problem with servers.
Yeah. Just trying to get my cook back, like somebody's gonna make, pork roast again.
If anybody has any ideas about some exotic foods that you've tasted or tried, get with Bub and give it, and we'll run it up the flagpole and see if it's a doable thing.
Calamari.
What? Calamari?
What are you drinking? You want wings from Cold Spot, right, boy?
All right, public comments. Quiet public, that's scary. Okay. We'll start over here, Linda.
Take her out.
I want to wish everybody a happy new year. Glad you're here tonight. We'll start this year off good. We're off to a good start. Things are going good. So, and thank everybody for coming tonight. Appreciate it.
I'd like to say the thing, also want to remind everybody that this Thursday night is our first Neighborhood Watch kickoff meeting for the new year. Starts at 6:30, be here at City Hall. I don't know whether we'll have it upstairs or downstairs. Every month, we're going to try to have something a little different, according to Chief Moss. And this one will start out, I don't know if we're having anything this Thursday night, but and then next month we're doing this Stop the Bleed and program, and we got the Red Cross coming and a few other things. They're real interesting. It's good information. Get to meet your neighbors and everybody else. Keep it safe. Thank y'all for being here. Happy New Year.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out and congratulate our chief of fire department and the fire department. That's a great accomplishment, and we thank you.
Also want to say congratulations to the fire department. It's a lot of hard work, and I appreciate it. And then everyone needs to know that January 13th will start sign-ups for election. If you're interested in becoming a council person, a clerk, a mayor, whatever position you'd like to have, there's information on the back table. We can always use helpful, hard-working people.
Good.
I'm good.
Just to reiterate what Connie said about election signups, and congratulations to the fire department as well.
I would like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. It's a new year. We're going to start off with some new things, hopefully, and get some new things done that hasn't been done in the past. We accomplished a lot last year. I know a lot of people say, well, we did, but compared to the years past, a lot was accomplished this past year, as far as repairs to the city, the streets, and sewer systems and everything. All the department has done a fantastic job. Scott, especially thank you for your guys keeping up with the holidays, because I know you're really short-handed. And I saw them out there. I took water to them a couple of times because a few of them looked like they were running around for tongues hanging out, but they kept up with their work. And thanks for Chief Thornhill. He and the men on the fire department have accomplished something that's very rare, like you said. Less than 2,000 out of 50,000 ever achieved a Class 2 fire departments ISO rating. So that's a big accomplishment. And thank everyone for coming out tonight. And Happy New Year and God bless you.
Well, that's hard to follow, buddy.
I don't even want to say it. Want me to help you? No.
Two quick questions. The bids on the garbage truck, have they been sent out?
I called him on Friday. He was trying to get them done by today, and I did not get anything from him today.
Okay.
They're looking at a Hino, a Freightliner, and one other brand, but I can't remember the last name. The Hinos are built in Parkersburg.
Right. Okay. Those are built to order, correct?
Correct.
Okay. The letters going out to people with abandoned houses and businesses that are abandoned, are we still doing that? Are we having any?
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah,
That's it.
I really don't have anything, just congratulations. It's already been extended to the fire department. Appreciate your hard work. Thank everybody for coming.
I think to go back to some of the comments we've made, thanks to the department heads in the finance committee meeting. Right now, our revenue stream is about $3.5 million for the year, and we spent $3.2 million. So we're running under budget, but we have some items that we have sitting around that are big ticket items. We've got repairs we got to be making on the outside of the building over here to stop leaking into the senior center. We got to upgrade the electrical coming into City Hall. Both of those are going to be somewhat pricey items, plus redoing the floor downstairs. So fortunately, we're in a financial position that we've been diligent and we've monitored what we're spending money on. We've been able to do some big ticket items. We've done more paving in the streets of Dunbar than it's ever been done, other than when it was related to a sewer project where they tore up the streets and replaced them. But a lot of those really didn't need to be tore up or repaved except for doing the street paving. So I think there's been a lot accomplished by this council, and the committees have been extremely active on council, getting together and meeting and putting their heads together to come up with solutions to problems. And they present those solutions to me and the department heads, and I think we've had a real good working relationship, and we've got a lot accomplished. So as it stands right now, the state of the state is stable. Anybody else for anything? That's the case.
Mr. Mayor, for the good of the order, if there is no other city business, I move that we adjourn this meeting. Second.
Meeting adjourned.
Are you? I'll be, 67 next Sunday.
Actually, Ben, I'm going to set it for the 27th, we're going to move it up. But it's scheduled tomorrow, and we'll get ahead together and let you know that you're going to do stuff.